Are children getting dumber, or is there something going on with the educational system? Or is there something happening at home that's keeping the parents from being as involved in their children's training as they should? That's what we're going to be covering in the next few minutes. I asked myself the question, are children actually getting dumber? Because I remember myself at the age of 12, and I realized that there were a few things that I had going for me educationally, which I don't see in many 12-year-olds. I noticed it while I was still living in Nigeria, and I think I'm noticing it here as well. So I decided to do some digging and, of course, trust Google. I came up with a few results. Now, I'm going to be looking at several articles that talk about this, but the focus is going to be on American students or American kids because they seem to track all that data. Most other countries, especially countries in the third world, don't have a track record to work with. And even if they did, they would hide it. So here is a question on Quora. Okay. Are students in general in America getting dumber? There are a few answers that were upvoted, and I'm going to start with the one at the very top. Quite insightful. No, students are not getting dumber. Says that those who are clueless and lazy have always been with us. After years of lawsuits demanding that we provide every student a college prep education that is beyond many of them, the ones who can't manage it are more and more visible than they were before. He's basically saying that people who used to find other jobs without needing to go to college have actually been forced or shoehorned into going to college. Now, that's not really my focus. My focus is looking at the way kids today process information, how they gather information, the degree of conversations that they used to have. I don't even think kids understand what happened during the First and Second World Wars. What is to blame? He claims that we've dumbed down our schools, which leaves our capable students behind. It's a travesty. Well, he has a point there. Maybe the next person has something to say about that. Now, this is a user simply called Kim, and he or she says, yes and no. Those at the top are highly competitive. If America was graded on those kids alone, the outlook would be completely different. But there is a good portion who have lived with increasingly lowered expectations. For those, this isn't a joke. Now, look at this chart here. The evolution of education, all right? This used to be the kind of calculations students ran in 1970. Complex, you see the complex nature of the calculation. Then by 1985, it drops to calculating the surface area of the rectangle. Then by the year 2000, calculate the surface area of the rectangle. And it even goes further by telling them how to solve the problem, multiplying the length by the width. 2010, it says choose the correct answer. Now you're being given the answer. It's more of a multiple choice question and you're just meant to guess the answer. By 2015, it says choose the correct answer and then gives 4 obviously wrong answers, which are totally outside the scope of math, and then puts the right answer right there in the mix. Finally, by 2018, color the rectangle with the color you prefer. This chart simply shows the progressive dumbing down of the educational system. It begins to make me think or wonder, is this intentional? How could we go from an educational system that's so high and then there's been a progressive dumbing down of the educational system? Now, this conversation is talking about the American education system, but we all know that as America goes, most of the world goes. That's where we are in North America. The reason why I went down this rabbit hole was because I'm wondering, is there something that parents can do to change the way things are going? I think one of the things that one has to do is encourage your children to read more and to learn how to count. These are the two things that parents have to do to ensure that their children don't slide down the ever decreasing scale that is being presented in most educational institutes in North America, according to these articles. So parents, if you've got kids and you're concerned that they are not getting the education that you feel they should be getting, get them to read more, get them to do some counting and calculations, do some of those exercises at home, and don't leave it to the schools. I know that when I was younger, my mom made sure that I got coached. I was coached because I was a lazy student. I did not like to read. I did not like to calculate. I just wanted to sit down and watch shows. And she made sure that I got coached. I think parents have to get more involved in their children's education. You need to get them books, encourage them to read, create an incentive system that gets them to read, no screen time until you finish 6 books and things like that. My wife and I are working at doing that with our kids and enforcing some of these rigors at home. What do you think? Is there something that can be done about the educational system, or should parents just take the bull by the horn and make their children do the hard work at home? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you enjoy more videos like this by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you.